for some of the higher routes of central and southern Scotland first thing Boxing Day. That weather does fizzle out through the day, however, and it stays dry and bright in the north of Scotland, brightening up in the southwest, also in between showers, and it'll be cloudy across much of England, Wales and Northern Ireland with outbreaks of rain on and off. Further rain at times on Monday, drying up on Tuesday and turning milder.
Canary Islands sponsors the weather.
I'm Neil Oliver. You can join me live every Saturday evening for opinions and discussions about the week's top stories. There's also a smattering of history and archaeology and features that define our great British Isles. You'll hear my thoughts unfiltered, as well as those of my guests, and we don't always agree. And we want to hear from you too. Neil Oliver Live, Saturdays from 7 on GB News.
Join me, Alex Phillips, for the afternoon agenda on GB News, Monday to Thursday from 4 p.m. till 6 p.m. We don't lecture to you or try to tell you what to think. We do a deep delve into a topic with views from across the range of debate, therefore leaving you, the viewer, to make up your own mind. Join me, Alex Phillips, for the afternoon agenda on GB News, 4 till 6, Monday to Thursday. You're watching GB News live across the UK and the world on our digital stream.
GB News is Britain's news channel.
We are the UK's home of discussion and debate from all perspectives.
We are here for you. Don't forget to join our YouTube community by clicking on that subscribe button.
And if you want the GB News app, you can click and catch up on programmes anytime.
We love to hear from you, so email us.
gbviews@gbnews.uk.
Thanks for being part of the GB News family.
My name is Andrew Doyle. Join me every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. for Free Speech Nation. This is a show where we address current affairs and news stories of the week with the help of two wonderful comedian panellists. I brought in comics because I want to give it a lighter edge, and also they work for less. See you there.
Join my show Farage, 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and there you will get opinion, analysis, debate, and I'll cover stories that nobody else dares to touch. And then for the last 15 minutes, talking pints. We're over a drink. We have a civilised conversation with someone. We very often disagree, but we do it in a grown-up way. Come and join me on Farage.
I'm Colin Brazier. I've reported from more than 70 countries around the world, covered wars from Afghanistan to Iraq, from Lebanon to the Balkans. I'm trying to bring that experience, that feel for events, to the studio. And something else, I'm ready to give an opinion. Today's stories with a spark. Brazier from 8 p.m. weekdays on GB News.
Hey, Merry Christmas to you and yours. This is the Mark Steyn Show on Christmas Eve. Don't worry, this was not pre-taped in August. I'm not on the beach in the Maldives working on my tan with Colin Brazier, Michelle Dewberry, Nigel Farage and the rest of the gang. So if the screen appears to freeze, that's not because the playback machine is on the fritz, but because I suffer from a rare temporary facial paralysis brought on by the large slice of Christmas pudding I just had. Oh, okay, I'm better now. This is my third one of the day, by the way. They're good, but you can have too much of them. Shouldn't have ordered it from round the back of the Wuhan Institute of Virology. We are live across these festive islands, and we have a special show for you coming up right after the news with Karen Roberts.
Thank you, Mark. These are your latest headlines. A further 122,186 lab-confirmed COVID cases have been recorded in the UK in the latest 24-hour period, marking a third consecutive record day. Elsewhere, figures from the Office for National Statistics show a record 1.7 million people were infected with COVID-19 last week. Amid a steep rise in cases, vaccination centres will be open even on Christmas Day. Staff and volunteers are giving vaccines today, tomorrow and on Boxing Day as part of a Jingle Jab campaign. In this year's Christmas message, Boris Johnson is urging people to come forward to get a COVID booster jab.
We know that things remain difficult, but for millions of families up and down the country, I hope and believe that this Christmas is and will be significantly better than the last in this vital respect, that we can celebrate together with those we love and raise our glasses to those who can't be with us.
The UK is set to offer 12-month visas to social care workers in an attempt to combat staff shortages due to coronavirus. The temporary measures will come into effect early next year and are expected to attract thousands of staff. To qualify, migrant workers will need to be paid a minimum annual salary of £20,480. A drug which could halve the risk of death from some prostate cancers could be made available on the NHS. A study published in The Lancet found hormone therapy, abiraterone, could be effective in reducing the death rate of patients from 15% to 7%. More than 52,000 men are diagnosed with prostate cancer in the UK every year. And as millions of children eagerly await the arrival of Santa Claus this Christmas Eve, GB News can confirm that St. Nick has just been spotted above Saudi Arabia. High-tech trackers from NORAD show that Rudolph and his fellow reindeer are helping to make good time this Christmas to ensure all presents are delivered. So far, 2.6 million presents have made their way down chimneys around the world. And we'll have another update on Santa's location at the top of the hour. That's your...
Hey, thank you for that, Karen, and a Merry Christmas to you. What a pleasure it is to follow you every Friday evening. I don't believe a word of that NORAD Santa watch thing, by the way. Is it even legal for Father Christmas to be in Saudi Arabia? I hope he doesn't get his hand chopped off or anything by those fellas. Christmas Eve at GB News. I'm Mark Steyn, and we are live tonight just in case Vladimir Putin decides to invade Ukraine or Emmanuel Macron decides to invade Jersey. But we hope they won't do that, not only because it's not in the spirit of the season, but also because I always get Ukraine confused with Jersey, so I'm probably not the expert analyst to have on standby for that. The only breaking news I'm interested in this evening is that fantastic story from Trafford, Greater Manchester, after being missing for 9 years. A beautiful black cat turned up and has been reunited with her family just in time for Christmas. Oh, look, that cat is so cute. That cat's had a really rough time on the streets and is just as cute as a button. Do you know what the cat's name is, by the way? Marley. Marley, just like Jacob Marley in A Christmas Carol. No idea whether Marley's family is Mr. and Mrs. Scrooge, but what a Christmas gift to get a Marley back. Pending any breaking news of other returned felines, the indispensable part of the show is, as always, you. We'll do a looser Stump the Steyn than usual. So ask me anything you want. GBViews at gbnews.uk, or you can Twitter me at GBNews. But in particular, I'd love to know, and I'm not going to go full bar humbug on this, but I'm just curious, is there a heartwarming Christmas tradition you absolutely can't stand? Could be a song, could be a film. If it's Her Majesty's Christmas message to the Commonwealth. Don't even think about it, you unworthy, ungrateful wretch of a miserable subject. But other than that, let me know, GBViews at gbnews.uk. We have Oscar, Tony, Emmy, Grammy winning Tim Rice coming up, and the great Irish tenor Anthony Kearns. But first, it's a pleasure to welcome to our airwaves two generations of good time rock and roll, Randy Bachman and his son, Tal Bachman. Randy, of course, was with Bachman Turner Overdrive, whose great anthem, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet, was a monster hit on the world's pop charts in the 70s. And then a generation later in the 90s was a monster hit on your telly screens because it was the favourite rock song of Smashy and Nicey.
This is Dave Nice saying I invented the 60s and they were a roaring success. In the 70s I founded glamorous rock. That too was phenomenal. In the 80s, Smashy and I ruled the world. Now it's the 90s and the new controller of Fab FM thinks we're for the scrap heap. Well, I've got a message for you, Mr. So-called Mr. Sir, from Bachman Turner Overdrive. You think we're finished? You ain't seen nothing yet.
And then they used to do that thing where they would bounce their head around, grooving to the music. Well, let's go to Randy and Tal Bachman in beautiful British Columbia. And it's great to see you guys. Randy, what do you feel about Smashy and Nicey, Harry Enfield and Paul Whitehouse using You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet like that? Did you get a kick out of it?
I got a kick and I was very surprised because I didn't know they were using it. And I was flying from a medium back to London to come back to Canada. And I got on the airplane and the stewardess said to me, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I'm a musician." She didn't know who I was. But when I mentioned You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet, she told the pilot, he played a Smashy Nicey skit over the airplane. The whole airplane started laughing and I didn't get it until I landed and found out that Harry Enfield had done that. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I love the Paul Whitehouse voice for his. How did he use it? Hey, coming up, the big sound of the Bachman Turner Overdrive, and You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. Hey, Tal, what is Chris? You guys are in British Columbia. Do you have like a traditional family Christmas? What are you going to be doing a little later today after the show's ended?
I guess we're going to be preparing our Christmas dinner, but I mean, as with everyone else, Christmas dinners have been a little different the last 2 years, but we're having a limited Christmas dinner.
Beans on toast.
Out of necessity. But, yeah.
So,
well, we're lucky.
So beans on toast.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's not really going to be beans on toast. You had a big. I mean, Randy grew up in had a relatively normal Christmas family upbringing. You grew up as a big son of a big glamorous rock star. Were childhood Christmases lavish beyond belief for you?
Well, you know, a couple of them were. I was a little kid, and Dad had hit it big with BTO, and the money was rolling in. And of course, this was in a different era when, you know, if you had one big song, you could go on a tour and play in front of 25, 30,000 people. And if you had two or three, I mean, it was just crazy. So we did have a couple of big Christmases when I was a little kid, but after Dad's divorce and a few other things, the Christmas is kind of downscaled. So I've had everything from the Dickensian Christmas to, you know, then sort of to everything in between.
Well, you've got to have a seriously big hit to afford some of these rock star divorces. I mentioned that heartwarming story, the most heartwarming story this Christmas. The cat from Greater Manchester, who returned home and was reunited with the family after 9 years. The second most heartwarming story this Christmas is that a couple of weeks ago, Randy Bachman was reunited with his guitar that he hadn't seen since it disappeared in a Holiday Inn in the 1970s. Tell us how you managed to get this guitar back, Randy.
The guitar is in Tokyo with a player named Takeshi, and he bought it from a vintage guitar in store in Tokyo. Tal and I were doing our Friday night Bachman train wrecks where we get together and just throw some songs together. And a message came in saying, I found your guitar. When we contacted this guy, he had done facial recognition of Bachman Turn Overdrive's Looking Out for Number One song where I'm playing the orange Gretsch. And they did facial recognition of every orange Gretsch sold in the world in the last 10 years. And he found the Gretsch. Takeshi does not speak English, but
Wow.
Coco, who's Tal's partner and my daughter-in-law, contacted them, and he agreed to give me my guitar back. We're waiting for, but he said I must buy the exact one. So I bought the exact one from a friend in Loveland, Ohio. It's 3 serial numbers apart, and I've got its sister. He's got his sister. We are guitar brothers, even though we can't speak because he doesn't speak English. I don't speak Japanese, but Coco's our translator. And we're waiting till maybe March till all the restrictions are lifted, where I will go there and actually trade him the guitar on camera. The story's gone all over the world. Millions of people are following this story. And we wake up every day with a different somebody contacting us saying, we want to join this team. We'll fly you there for nothing. We'll do this. We want to join the team. So very soon I will have back that orange guitar. We'll have the switch on camera. We'll be doing a gig in Tokyo. And to get a guitar back after being lost 45 or 50 years, which I never thought I'd ever get back. When I saw it, when Takeshi brought it on the Zoom camera, it just struck my heart. I've been waiting for this, like the cat coming back after 9 years. You take the cat years and
in fact, it's more heartwarming. There are zillions of cats, but a guitar is like special. But you lost this in the Holiday Inn in Toronto. Is that how did it part company from you? How did you lose the feline guitar, as it were?
I love this guitar so much that I had carried with me a tow truck chain. That when I checked into a hotel, I would put the guitar next to the toilet, wrap the chain around the toilet and the guitar case. So if somebody was going to steal it, they'd have to pull the toilet out of the floor. Or sometimes I put it on the television, which was anchored to the counter. I did that for years. One day after an all-night recording session, my road manager said, I'm going to take your guitar, check out of the Holiday Inn, and I'll come back and pick you guys up. He put it in the hotel room for 5 or 10 minutes. When he came back, it was gone. We found that there was a gang of crooks where the maids would go into the room, find the spare key, throw it out the window. Her boyfriend, the crook, would come to the hotel, phone the room just on the internet, on the phone that was inside the hotel. And when it rang with no answer, he knew the owner was not in the room, but everything would be packed near the door because you're checking out. You're either paying your bill or having your free coffee and donut. So they'd open the door and take it. They grabbed the guitar. He came back and said, your guitar's gone. It was mind-blowing. And I hadn't seen it since until Takeshi had it on the Zoom.
Well, I hope you've got a fantastic Saddam Hussein gold-plated toilet like he had to chain this guitar to when it comes back, because that's you don't want some other guy just taking it out of whatever Holiday Inn you wind up in. Now you guys are going to do some live. Well, we're going to put up. I don't know how this song is going to. Yeah, carry on, Tal. What were you saying?
Well, I was going to say, while we're over in Japan retrieving the guitar, we should get one of those $15,000 high-tech Japanese toilets and install that, and then put the gold toe chain around it.
Yeah, match the guitar to the toilet. That's the thing. Well, you're going to do some live music for us. And this is one that everybody knows. There were Christmas songs, and then rock and roll came along, and eventually someone thought, we should have a rock and roll Christmas song. And I believe this was the very first.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell swing and jingle bell ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell chime and jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air. What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go riding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet, jingle around the clock. Mix and mingle and the jingle of feet. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. Take it away. What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go riding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet, jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in the jingle and beat. That's the Jingle Bell, that's the Jingle Bell, that's the Jingle Bell Rock.
Oh, 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 Merry Christmas.
Fantastic. Jingle Bell time is a swell time to rock the night away. That is a sentiment you can take to the bank. Hey, just quickly, Tal, we've been asking people for heartwarming Christmas traditions they can't stand. What is your least favourite Christmas song? There are a lot of them out there. What's the one that makes you want to rip the radio out of the car and hurl it through the window?
You know, this sounds like a setup, but we've never discussed this. I don't think we've ever discussed it. My least favorite Christmas song, and it's by an incalculably gigantic margin, is the Bruce Springsteen monstrosity, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I have the most, I mean, I recognize that I have a disproportionately severe reaction to this, but every time I hear that song, I just want to put my fist through the drywall. I mean, it's just the most overwrought, noisy, loud, vainglorious. I just can't add it.
Preach it, brother. You know, Santa Claus is Coming to Town is a fantastic song, and it's almost impossible to go wrong with it. And to do what he did to it just totally destroyed that thing. That's an excellent choice. If you're looking for some vinyl to burn this Christmas, Bruce Springsteen, Santa Claus is Coming to Town is a good one. Do you have a least favourite or a favourite Christmas song, Randy?
My least favorite?
Least or your favorite?
I think my favorite, we're probably going to be doing it. I've got two. The Christmas song, Chestnuts Roasting an Open Fire, which is basically a cool jazz song. And also White Christmas, which is also a very cool jazz song. Both written by Jewish guys, by the way.
You know what's great,
they wrote a lot of the... Yeah, carry on, Tal.
Oh, I was going to say, you know what I love?
The
Vince Guaraldi version of Christmas Time is Here on the Charlie Brown special.
Oh, I love that's my favorite.
That's great.
Yeah, that's super cool. Well, Randy and Tal are going to... That's right. From Snoopy and Peanuts and the Christmas special. Randy and Tal are going to stick around. Don't forget to shoot me a Christmas line for Stump the Steyn. Ask me anything you want. gbviews@gbnews.uk. If you are a fan of that appalling Bruce Springsteen version of Santa Claus is Coming to Town, make your case for it. gbviews@gbnews.uk or tweet me anything else at GBNews. We're keeping it wide open tonight, whatever's on your mind. Christmas Eve live at GB News. Don't touch that dial. We'll be back.
It's time to remind ourselves there's always another winter. Canary Islands sponsors the weather.
Hello again. The weather this Christmas is all about the contrast. Cold but bright in the north and east, rain elsewhere and fairly mild in the southwest. And you can see those contrasts on this map. The blues there across northern parts of the UK, whilst milder air affects southwestern areas, and these weather fronts moving in and then stalling through central zones. So for Christmas Eve night, an area of rain moving north across central parts of the country, tending to fizzle out through the end of the night, but leaving a lot of cloud and damp conditions. Heavier rain returns to South Wales and the southwest. Milder here, but for Scotland, clear spells through the night means frost to wake up to on Christmas Day, with temperatures in sheltered spots below freezing. That's where the lion's share of sunshine will be for Christmas Day itself, particularly northwest and west Scotland, patchy cloud elsewhere. Staying dry, at first at least, for Northern Ireland, for northern and central England and East Anglia. Windy in the north, especially over the higher ground, and that will make it feel really quite cold through Christmas Day. Much milder in the southwest, but here it will be wet throughout Christmas Day, as well as for much of Wales, and then increasingly the Midlands, central southern and southeast England, as well as Northern Ireland. And as this rain moves north during Christmas Day night, it will mix with the colder air, and we're likely to see some snow for the higher parts of northern England, southern and central Scotland, primarily above 300 or 400 metres. And we're likely to see, with the strong winds, some drifting of that snow, so tricky conditions over some of the higher Pennine routes, as well as for some of the higher routes of central and southern Scotland. First thing, Boxing Day. That weather does fizzle out through the day, however, and it stays dry and bright in the north of Scotland, brightening up in the southwest, also in between showers, and it'll be cloudy across much of England, Wales and Northern Ireland, with outbreaks of rain on and off. Further rain at times on Monday, drying up on Tuesday and turning milder.
Canary Islands sponsors the weather.
You're watching GB News live across the UK and the world on our digital stream.
GB News is Britain's news channel.
We are the UK's home of discussion and debate from all perspectives.
We are here for you. Don't forget to join our YouTube community by clicking on that subscribe button.
And if you want the GB News app, you can click and catch up on programmes anytime.
We love to hear from you, so email us.
gbviews@gbnews.uk.
Thanks for being part of the GB News family.
My name is Andrew Doyle. Join me every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. for Free Speech Nation. This is a show where we address current affairs and news stories of the week with the help of two wonderful comedian panellists. I brought in comics because I want to give it a lighter edge, and also they work for less. See you there.
Join my show Farage, 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and there you will get opinion, analysis, debate, and I'll cover stories that nobody else dares to touch. And then for the last 15 minutes, talking pints. Over a drink, we have a civilised conversation with someone. We very often disagree, but we do it in a grown-up way. Come and join me on Farage.
I'm Colin Brazier. I've reported from more than 70 countries around the world, covered wars from Afghanistan to Iraq, from Lebanon to the Balkans. I'm trying to bring that experience, that feel for events, to the studio. And something else. I'm ready to give an opinion. Today's stories with a spark. Brazier from 8 p.m. weekdays on GB News.
Join us for Political Correction. We're here every Sunday to correct politics and put you, the people, back in charge.
We talk about all areas of the United Kingdom, including Northern Ireland.
Our debate goes way beyond the Westminster Village. It's about the real country. It's about your opinion. So please, we want you to tell us what you think.
This is Political Correction.
Every Sunday morning from 10 a.m. here on GB News.
You're watching GB News live across the UK, the world, and our digital stream.
GB News is Britain's news channel.
We are the UK's home of discussion and debate from all perspectives.
We're here for you. Don't forget to join our community by hitting the subscribe button.
And download the GB News app so you can click and catch up on programmes anytime.
We love to hear from you. Email us at gbviews@gbnews.uk.
Thanks for being part of the GB News family.
Welcome back to Christmas Eve, live at GB News. Father Christmas is en route, boys and girls. His sleigh was turned back from Heathrow, apparently because that red nose on Rudolph is the first symptom of the Omicron variant. So they sent him back to France, where he's known as Le Père Noël, because with all the travel restrictions, it helps to travel with multiple fake passports. Anyway, he got back into France, and Monsieur Macron has saved the day by putting Father Christmas on a catamaran of migrants. And I believe he should be arriving on the beach at Folkestone or Dungeness any moment now. So that is great news. Let's see what's on your mind this Christmas Eve, what you like about Christmas, what you don't. Sam has tweeted, carol singers. I can't stand the ones who turn up, sing a few out-of-tune bars, then knock on the door, then finish the last few bars and hold out the hat. They always look like they've just left the pub. I know what you mean. I hate that when they knock on the door and go, feed the world. Give us a quid, mate. Give us a quid. Barry has tweeted. Barry has also tweeted. He says, mulled wine is my least favourite tipple. Mulled wine is my least favourite tipple. I'm gonna have to mull that one, Barry. EM has tweeted, cranberry sauce, yuck. You shouldn't be having cranberry sauce. That's an American thing. You should eschew the cranberry sauce and find some typical British delicacy instead, like hedgehog sauce. But the America's premier happy homemaker, Martha Stewart, on a Christmas show of mine years ago, put cranberry on everything. She puts cranberry on the starters, cranberry on the turkey, cranberry on the pudding. It's sick. Ursula has tweeted, people pretending to be nice to each other than whispering in the kitchen. All tremendously stressful it is. I hate that. You think you're having a nice family Christmas, and then the whispering in the kitchen starts. Hey, you know, Ursula, whispering in the kitchen would be a great title for a gloomy Christmas song. You know, what do we? Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you started whispering in the kitchen. I don't think it's been done. Anthony Kearns hails from County Wexford on the Emerald Isle. It's a beautiful county, that. He's a great Irish tenor. He's gone around the world and he's sung for presidents, prime ministers, the Pope and me on the Mark Steyn Christmas show a couple of years ago. This is one of my favourite carols, pinned precisely to this night in Bethlehem 2,000 years ago.
It came upon a midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. Peace on the earth, goodwill to men, from heaven's all gracious King. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. For lo, the days are hastening on, by prophet bard foretold, when with the ever-circling years comes round the age of gold, when peace shall over all the earth its
Anthony Kearns giving it some welly. I'm not sure whether they say that in County Wexford. Randy and Tal Bachman are still with us. And while it would be incorrect to say that Anthony Kearns was a founding member of Bachman Turner Overdrive, I did wonder what it would be like if you put Anthony Kearns and Randy Bachman together. So here's what happens when an Irish tenor decides to go rocking around the Christmas tree. Mr. Anthony Kearns.
You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly,
Rocking around the Christmas tree and a happy holiday.
everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way.
That's back when there's no social distancing on that stage. That's back when you could still do live shows and pack as many musicians and singers as you wanted onto them. I've got to ask Randy and Tal, what has these last 2 years been like for you? Because you guys are normally out on tour all the time. Has it been tough? And performers like yourselves need audiences. It's part of the reason you do what you do. What's it been like not to actually be in a room with people cheering and applauding and raving about your songs? It's got to have been tough, hasn't it, Tal?
Yeah. We had a couple of good upsides. We did an album together, Bachman album, that we're now just mastered. It's going to be coming out. It's a whole new set of music. Nothing like the Guess Who or BTO or his She's So High song. We created something new, and this is the longest I've ever slept in my own bed in my entire lifetime. 2 solid years of my own bed. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we had concerts that were canceled. I had solo concerts, and then I also play with Dad and his band when he has concerts. So those got wiped out, so there was a bit of a financial thing. But I mean, as Dad said, we tried to make the best of it. But I'll tell you, the thing that has really I wouldn't say that I took it for granted, but I've really missed it. Is just being able to go out to a pub and see live bands. Like where we live, there was a very robust live music scene, more robust than I think any other city now, because there were tons of pubs around downtown Victoria here on Vancouver Island. So you could go into a pub and you would always meet up with your friends because it's kind of a small city, and it was just very fun on a Friday or Saturday night. So, it was nothing tawdry, but it was just this kind of rolling, fun pub crawl with lots of live music. And, that was all wiped out very quickly. So I really missed that.
No, none of that anymore, and it's not coming back anytime soon. There are all kinds of Christmas songs, and this one, A Winter's Tale, it was a big #2 pop hit for David Essex 39 years ago. Since when, according to Taste, it has placed #6 on Asian News International's top 10 worst Christmas songs. But on the other hand, #34 on The Independent's all-time best Christmas songs. So take your pick. Mike Batt of Wambling Merry Christmas fame wrote it with Tim Rice, and here's Tim telling me all about it.
In the case of Winter's Tale, my version of the story is that I had written the lyric but not finished it. And Mike Batt, who is a very, very good lyricist, finished it, and I wasn't quite aware that he had. And when it was recorded, that tale rhyming with failed got through. And I certainly said at some point, the line should be, it was only a winter's tale, how can the world take notice? Why should the world take notice if one more love should fail? Which is a perfect rhyme. And I'm sure I must have said that at some point, but it didn't get onto the record. I think this song in England anyway, or in the United Kingdom, has lasted. It does get played, perhaps not quite as much as Slade's perennial Merry Christmas Everybody, but it certainly gets played a lot every Christmas time.
nights are colder now. Maybe I should close the door. And anyway, the snow has covered all your footsteps, and I can follow you no more. The fire we lit still burns. My memories are warm and clear.
Oh, that's Emma Kershaw, who starred in Tim's Big Show Chess. I love Emma, and it's a great shame not to be with her live in the same room like it used to be on Christmas shows. Mike Batt, who wrote that song with Tim, has a completely different version of that, and since Tim is talking a lot of hogwash, and we're going to have extreme songwriting as a weekly round at GB News starting in the new year, in which a composer and a lyricist who completely disagree on the version of events as to how the song came to be will be climbing into the wrestling ring and slugging each other until one of them wins. So Tim Rice versus Mike Batt versus Tim Rice. They'll be arguing about the billing, but we'll do that in the new year. We're going to be back with more of your comments. Stump the Steyn, GB Views at gbnews.uk, and some great Christmas Eve live music from Randy Bachman and Tal Bachman. All straight ahead. Don't miss it. Don't look out the window to see if Father Christmas is there. He's passing your house this year. Keep it on GB News instead. We'll be back.
You're watching GB News live across the UK and the world on our digital stream.
GB News is Britain's news channel.
We are the UK's home of discussion and debate from all perspectives.
We are here for you. Don't forget to join our YouTube community by clicking on that subscribe button.
And if you want the GB News app, you can click and catch up on programmes anytime.
We love to hear from you, so email us.
gbviews at gbnews.uk.
Thanks for being part of the GB News family.
My name is Andrew Doyle. Join me every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. for Free Speech Nation. This is a show where we address current affairs and news stories of the week with the help of two wonderful comedian panellists. I brought in comics because I want to give it a lighter edge, and also they work for less. See you there.
Join my show Farage, 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and there you will get opinion, analysis, debate, and I'll cover stories that nobody else dares to touch. And then for the last 15 minutes, talking pints. We're over a drink. We have a civilized conversation with someone. We very often disagree, but we do it in a grown-up way. Come and join me on Farage.
I'm Colin Brazier. I've reported from more than 70 countries around the world, covered wars from Afghanistan to Iraq, from Lebanon to the Balkans. I'm trying to bring that experience, that feel for events, to the studio. And something else, I'm ready to give an opinion. Today's stories with a spark. Brazier from 8 p.m. weekdays on GB News.
Christmas Eve live. Let's have a few more of your comments. Ian says via Twitter, do you have a favourite Christmas cracker joke? This one is from my favourite Christmas cracker joke is from a quarter century ago during the whole Clinton impeachment trial over his shenanigans with Monica Lewinsky. A guy picks up the telephone and asks for the long-distance operator. And he says to the guy, "Operator, I'd like to call Santa Monica." And the operator says, "Why? Just because he's a little overweight?" Anyway, I don't mean it, Monica. Merry Christmas to you. It's been tough. Jack says via Twitter, does Biden know what planet he's on? He's on planet Omicron now and forever. And Julie says, what is your favourite Christmas song? Well, a couple of them are coming up right now because we have Randy and Tal Bachman with us. And Randy and Tal are going to do for us the song that is the granddaddy of them all. Irving Berlin's White Christmas. Take it away, guys.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Take it away. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
Fantastic song, and it goes nicely with a little bit of rhythm, just helping it move like that. Don't know what Bing would have made of it, but that's actually very appealing to me. A lovely thing. Do you actually have white Christmases in on Vancouver Island, or because it's famed for rain rather than snow?
Well, we get snow maybe twice a decade here. But we actually don't get a lot of rain where we are, because we're in a bit of a rain shadow because of the Olympic Peninsula in Washington. So we're kind of in an odd little spot. We're by far in the place that has the best weather in Canada.
But I would change it to I'm dreaming of a wet Christmas. You can put whatever meaning you want into that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the song will, when the global warming kicks in and there is no more snow, thanks to Andy, that song will still have a life as I'm dreaming of a wet Christmas. You guys, Harry, you were talking about the part of the world you're in, beautiful British Columbia. I don't want to spoil things by mentioning, when we're all nice and warm in the Christmas glow, by mentioning the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. But when they fled Windsor Castle, they were actually in your neck of the world for a few weeks, until they decided, nuts to all these Canadians, we'd rather be with all those people in Los Angeles. Were you running into Meghan at the grocery store, Tal?
Well, we might well have. We didn't, because they were just in a house, literally. I mean, we're in a little cove, and they were just the next cove over. So, yeah. I mean, it's a 5-minute walk. And in fact, the famous incident where they tried to go to a restaurant, and the restaurant wouldn't let them in, is 100 yards away from the house. We've been, we can just walk along the beach, and we walk right up the steps. It's literally a 90-second walk from me, a 2-minute walk. But we didn't see them.
We were hoping to see Baby Archie crawling along like Sweet Pea in the Popeye comics.
Why did that restaurant guy not want them in the restaurant? What was the reason for that?
Well, I think it was kind of mischaracterized in the news. I think that they showed up with a whole bunch of security demands, and I'm not sure that they told the restaurant that it was them. And so the manager, I mean, we're kind of out the tree here, and people are quite practical, and he just said, well, it's ridiculous. I can't shut the restaurant down and do all this thing. So I think he only found out later
They
that
don't
it was
need
Harry.
that.
Nah.
Yeah, they don't need that security. He needs security from her, but that's a whole other issue. And by the way, the Queen should give that guy, whoever that guy is, the Queen should give him a dukedom. Go on, Your Majesty. I don't know whether you've time to do it. We've got time for one more song from Randy and Tal. Leroy Anderson wrote this wonderful music, and a couple of years later, an old friend of mine, Mitchell Parrish, put words to it. Not sure it's legal to do a sleigh ride under COVID, but we're going to live dangerously and get those sleigh bells jingling, ring-ting-tingling. Randy and Tal Bachman right here on The Mark Steyn Show.
Just hear those sleigh bells ringling, ting, ting, tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. The key change. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, let's go. Let's look at the show. We're riding in a wonderland of snow. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, it's grand. Just holding your hand. We're riding along with the song of a wintry fairyland. Our cheeks are nice and rosy and comfy and cozy are we. We're snuggled, love together like birds of a feather would. Solo? Solo, okay. Here. Giddy up. Okay. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, let's go. Let's look at the show. We're riding in a wonderland of snow. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, it's grand. Just holding your hand. We're riding along with the song of wintry fairyland. Our cheeks are nice and rosy, and comfy and cozy are we. We're snuggled up together like birds of a feather would. Lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with. Weather for a sleigh ride together with you. On the fly. A little shade over our Friday night there from me, because we only play these songs once a year for Mark.
Yeah. One of the key characteristics of us as a duo is sloth, that you're not practicing and making lots of mistakes. So there you go.
Yeah, no, you're always game though. That's what I like about it. You guys are always game on that. And we did have such fun a couple of years ago on that last Christmas show. It was just terrific to see Anthony Kurds doing his big operatic voice standing next to Randy. And managed to get a little bit of rock and roll and operatic tenor stuff going on together. Now, Randy, you've seen the film. I take it you've seen the film Love Actually, which it came out about 20 years ago, I guess, and a big,
I watch it every Christmas.
Certainly. Well, you actually did that thing that Bill Nye, as the 1960s pop star who takes his 1960s pop hit and he shoehorns the word Christmas into it to see if he can have a big hit. You actually did that with one of your songs, because you had a huge hit in the 70s with Taking Care of Business, and you decided a few years back to turn it into Taking Care of Christmas. And did you get that idea from... Yeah, okay. Yeah, give us a bit.
No, I got asked to do a Christmas album for a charity hospital in Winnipeg, which is where I'm from. And one of my favorite songs is Oh Holy Night. Well, I can't sing that. I could play it as an instrumental like heavy metal. And I said, I can't do this album. And my daughter, who was very young at the time, said, why don't you just do Taking Care of Business and call it Taking Care of Christmas and write lyrics about being kind to everyone and sharing food and toys and getting together. So I wrote that song, "Taking Care of Christmas."
Yeah, that's a fact. I
Here,
mean,
I'll just
I
give
think
you the chorus. AKV.
Yeah.
Taking care of Christmas every day. Taking care of Christmas every way. Taking care of Christmas. Doing it right. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
That,
I had my own
what
training.
that is,
I forgot
you
my
should.
own song.
You should do that with all your songs. You should change "You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet" to "You Ain't Seen Santa Yet." There's all kinds of things you could do with those, Randy. It's Christmas Eve.
How about Santa in the sleigh and Santa singing "He's So High, High Above Me"?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. If you want, I mean, where the state of the pop music business, you might as well turn every song into a Christmas song, because that what seems cynical in Love Actually is in fact the way these guys work. Well, it's been great seeing you here for Christmas and on our Christmas Eve show. Tell me something. Tell me something. The Canadian Christmas song that I know is the beautiful Huron Carol, which I think is the oldest carol in North America. And I don't think anybody actually wrote a Christmas song, unless Paul Anka did one or whoever. But I don't think anyone else did a Christmas song for the next 300 years until Taking Care of Christmas came along. You said, Randy, that you basically only do these songs when I ask you to do them. Do you like a lot of this Christmas music?
Do you like a lot of Christmas?
I like Christmas music a little bit at a time. I hate the radio stations that start in the middle of November and all they play is Christmas songs. I mean, like, enough already. But there's songs that I really, really like. You only hear them maybe once or twice a year, and it brings back memories of childhood and happier times, because nobody really remembers the bad Christmases. We always want to remember the good ones.
No. And that's true of all Christmases and all Christmas stories, and it's true of Dylan Thomas and A Child's Christmas in Wales. It's about looking back, and all the childhood Christmases blur into one, and generally always as a happy Christmas too. That is a great thought for Christmas Eve. I thank you, Randy Bachman and Tal Bachman, joining us direct from beautiful Vancouver Island in British Columbia. A very Merry Christmas to Tal and Randy, and to all your loved ones, and to Coco, who, as you mentioned, has also been helping you retrieve your guitar from Japan. Alistair Stewart. He's the hardest working man in the building. It seems like seconds since he went off the air, but he's still sticking around, and he is going to be here right after the weather. I wish you and all your loved ones all the blessings of Christmas. It's not just about telly and booze and fags and all the rest of it. It also helps, as we heard in It Came Upon the Midnight Clear, to dwell on the deeper meaning of Christmas too. And that's particularly important at a time when the world has absolutely been battered these last 2 years. Spare some time to think about that baby in Bethlehem, born 2,000 years ago. That's it from me. Happy Christmas to Alistair. He's coming up next.
It's time to remind ourselves there's always another winter. Canary Islands sponsors the weather.
Hello again. The weather this Christmas is all about the contrast. Cold but bright in the north and east, rain elsewhere, and fairly mild in the southwest. And you can see those contrasts on this map. The blues there across northern parts of the UK, whilst milder air affects southwest